Gets closer to the director, leans down and shows with her hand a gesture of smudging something into his face. Her voice trembles. She's either upset or nervous. She quotes a previous performance stating that she will not reenact it. Rub his face with shit. Instead, she will, and she lifts the black plastic bag up and declares, I will not do what something, but my reaction to all this is, you full of shit. And she turns the bag upside down. It's a trash bin. She's now emptying it, letting it flow down on the table in between them, falling down on the floor. It is not like she is showering them with the trash, but it makes its way and occupies the center of the stage from now on. The two men sit still, paralyzed. No one moves, not up front, not in the audience, except the girl, who once she is done turning the trash bin inside out, leaves the scene as it is. Walking down the alleyway, she cries out, as in a parenthesis, that, by the way, she's from the Academy of Fine Arts from Vienna.
About his experience of working with this professional film and how much funding he got.
Yeah, that was the most disturbing part.
Yeah, that was disturbing.
But anyone could raise the question in that space. No?
But can you actually? I mean, if you look at it how it was, in that space with the chairs here and then this space for the audience up there, and you could see all of us, all the students, always sitting way up there, far away behind, very uncomfortably. I mean, you can ask a question, but sometimes the environment is not very allowing to ask questions.
Also, there is a special language that you have to use in there.
And I think also we all felt, we talked about it in the pauses, that we didn't really dare to raise our voice.
Intimidating, yeah.
But
because of the discursive language, discursive knowledge, and you don't know how to talk, you don't know how to behave, you don't know how to take place.
yeah, sure. But does that mean that you can attack through trash?
It was self-righteous, like Heido said, like taking the matter into own hands, like a vigilant attack.
Right. So this event or attack, what you might call it, we had just had our presentation in the panel, and this woman in the audience started talking about power structures. But I said, what about the power structures? I thought it was an attack from one artist to another artist. She attacked the artist who had criticized the Academy in the first place.
So she was killing the messenger.
But was she really? I mean, was he really criticizing anything in his film? It didn't seem to me.
So were you offended by the film? Do you think it showed? Are we attacked like it was?
Well, maybe not offended like by the film.
I feel I wasn't offended by the film. I found it quite funny, or like a parody. I was more offended by the whole situation in the room. And a parody can really work in a way where it's like, oh, that's so funny. And when it actually strengthens what it is a parody of.
And after the film was shown, there was no reaction. Students at the art school there, students of the famous professor who painted the Neanderthal Valley. Yeah. Interesting.
Konstnärligt entreprenörskap. Postmodernistiska företag och politiker omfamnar konsten enbart med den kreativa staden i åtanke. Med åtanke att vara en plats i den globala konkurrensen om platser att vara.
But thank you. I think for me, after your presentation, I think I understand more than after the presentation itself. At that point, when I was sitting there, I was so nervous for my own presentation that I couldn't focus.
But I think it's really interesting anyway how she reflected on the situation, really actively focusing on what is going on. But much of it was lost in that presentation. And the discussion about this was completely lost after her presentation.
There was no discussion, as the discussion of the event came up, and that was the topic that took over everything else from then on. So her thinking, I suppose, was taken over by this other thing.
The rubbish.
A person stormed onto the stage with a trash bin in hand. She held the bin up high and declared, "This is what I think about this," and poured the trash in front of the two men who were leading the panel discussion. After this placement of trash, she ran out of the room. The act was quick and abrupt, and left the conference room in total confusion of what had happened.
A few minutes of silence followed.
Or confused mumbling. And silence where the audience slowly starts to understand that this is not according to plan. The conversation had truly been interrupted. Even if the two men tried their best to keep face and stick to the decorum while sitting in the heap of rubbish.
Anyone want to fill in on this? Thank you. Isolerar och åtskiljer kreatören, arbetet och skaparen. I verkligheten är skapande, spridning och mångfaldigande. Svärmar och bultar. In the name of efficiency, freedom of competition is seen as a universal good. And nobody looks at what might be lost by it.
I think it was really interesting anyway how she reflected on the situation, really actively focusing on what is going on.
Yeah.
But much of it was lost in that presentation. And the discussion about this was completely lost after her presentation.
There was no discussion. I mean, as the discussion of the event came up, and that was the topic that took over everything else from then on. So her thinking, I suppose, was taken over about this other thing.
I suggest we go through the program. Presentations of artistic research presentations, and then go through and ask if anyone has notes from these particular presentations. After that, we can have a more general discussion. That way we can see through everybody's notes. Does that seem okay with you all?
Yes. Yes, sounds good.
Okay. Who's first on the list? Maja? Okay, Maja.
Men Maja var väl inte här? Kom väl inte, eller? Hon kom dagen efter. Vem var opponenten? The opponent was French. Hon med luggen. Hon med luggen? Not the pink person. Yeah, I have notes, but only from the second part. Now I know who it is.
You can begin with that if you like.
Her thesis was called "The Operation Was Successful, but the Patient Died. The Short Progress from Self-Suspension to Self-Sacrifice."
And where was the PhD conducted?
But also how the market and the competitive traits of market capitalism have become sort of internalized in the mind of artists, cultural workers, everyone really. This type of flexible workers as a self-administrator.
You still have to let someone tie you up. People even pay for it.
An ideology of property isolates the author, the creator, and the work. In reality, creation is disseminated proliferation. It swarms and throws. Ungefärlig översättning. Egendom som ideologi isolerar och åtskiljer kreatören, arbetet och skaparen. I verkligheten är skapande spridning och mångfaldigande. Det svärmar och bultar. In the name of efficiency, freedom of competition is as a universal good. And nobody looks at what might be lost by it.